Hey everybody. I struggled so many times trying to start this video, but I really just want to be candid with you and I want to talk about the cloud streaming on the portal. My experience with it, has it affected my gaming lifestyle? Do I pick this up more than I do other devices? And you can even see behind me, I have the Steam Deck, Switch, there's a ROG Ally X over there. And how does it stack up and how does it compare to those? Um, Cloud streaming has been I just want to say kind of a blessing. Like honestly, I'm really surprised about it, and it's been out for about 2 months now. I want to say so. It's been a good amount of time for people to test it out. There's some caveats that are drawbacks with the portal, specifically like the fact that it's not really future proofed. It uses Wi-Fi. I think it uses the 5G Wi-Fi, and it doesn't go up past that. And the PlayStation, Pro uses like Wi-Fi 6 or something, and so without knowing all the technical specs ins and outs. Like I'm just a console enthusiast, a computer gaming enthusiast. I'm not really like super well versed on the ins and outs specifically of the things, but I try to look them up and kind of like learn more about them and things like that. But I kind of wanted to go off like a scripted video on this thing, but honestly, it just feels so fake and artificial to me that I just kind of want to give you guys camera turned on, give you my impressions, and just try to feel comfortable talking to a camera, but trying to talk to you guys specifically. I, for one, always watch a ton of videos on devices whenever I'm thinking about getting them, or even after I have them, people's experience with them, and maybe if there's like tips and tricks and things like that. So, um, with the portal, I initially got it about a little over a year ago, and had it mainly for like remote play and things like that, which I thought was cool. I got it for I think Final Fantasy Rebirth that came out at the time, so I was really getting into it then, and was enjoying it for the most part. The 8-inch screen, upgrading from like even the Steam Deck OLED screen. The Steam Deck OLED screen is amazing. It's a beautiful screen, but there's something about having an 8-inch LCD, not even be it LCD or OLED. There's something about like an 8-inch screen that is like the perfect sweet spot for gaming, honestly, like portable gaming. And then also having like your controllers, like these haptic feedback controllers were pretty awesome. And getting into the cloud streaming side of it, I was so surprised at how robust it is. So I'll throw some footage up on screen so you guys can kind of see, the actual like gameplay from just cloud streaming, not even the remote play. And a lot of the times it feels insanely native. Like I can't believe how strong the cloud streaming was with a lot of these games. I think on average, I would pick up the portal and I would have probably about an hour-long session at the most when I would be cloud streaming like a game, and I wouldn't really see too many dips. Playing more intensive games like Ghost of Tsushima and things like that, you can really kind of see, you notice whenever clarity drops, obviously, and every now and then it would, especially if you're playing at different times of the day and like there's, I would imagine more traffic during the day depending on where you are in the world. But for the most part, as I'm going to say that like a ton of times, it was good. I liked it. And then I'll throw more and more footage up on the screen. I think that the way games are moving forward, I think that there's a huge market for casual gamers. I know that mobile gaming is a massive, massive industry. I think it makes up the majority of the gaming industry in terms of like revenue for the gaming companies and things like that. So I think that they're behind the scenes thinking that cloud gaming is going to be the future. You can get every one of these, you can get a customer and get a portal in everybody's hand for $200. They pay a $120 subscription fee for the year, and then bam, you've got, you sell it to 1 million people, you got 100 million plus, a year industry just based around a console that probably didn't cost Sony that much to make to begin with. So where does that come for, the consumer? Where does that line up for us? And without, I'm trying to stay focused and not run off on tangents and ramble here, but I think that it could be beneficial to us, especially the better the cloud streaming gets. We're starting to see a lot more things offered to us, like especially with Xbox games coming to the PlayStation, which is insane for a console. Anybody that's been a console gamer since the early 2000s or 2010s, like, and you're very much invested in the console wars. Well, I guess they're over, and I guess Sony won, and so now we're going to start seeing things like Xbox Game Pass, like, wouldn't it be insane to see cloud streaming and Xbox Game Pass on something like the Portal? I don't know if we'll get that to that point, but it would be pretty cool though, being able to play, like the Halo collection or Gears of War and things like that on the PlayStation Portal. you know, and just being able to pick up and go. I find that that's what one of the best things about having the Steam Deck and the ROG Ally X was. It's like picking up and getting cheaper games on the backlog that you can just play, or ones that you've never played, or ones you haven't played in a long, long time, and you can get that like nostalgia factor, and then it's kind of like having your cake and eating it too with the like cloud streaming. Like especially if you're signed up for it, there's games on here that I'm like, man, I never thought I'd touch ever. Like I've never played Grand Theft Auto 5 ever. I think I've done it on a couple times for videos, and then I think I maybe turned it on once or twice before. I've never gotten past like the first 10 minutes or something, 10, 15, 20 minutes in the game. And so because of cloud streaming though, it's kind of changed that. I'm like, oh man, let me try this out. And now I'm playing it. I'm really enjoying it, and like I'm trying to find more time to get into it, and then being able to just pick this up wherever it is, and like it's a dedicated device that I could just, you know, have that game on there. It's been pretty good in that regard. And then other games that I've never even thought of before, there's like these games like hidden gems on here. One of the ones like Fist Forged in Shadow Torch. Never would buy that game. Like I would never have thought like, oh, this game looks great, let me get this. But with cloud streaming, I'm able to just pick it up and try it, and I'm like, oh wow, this is awesome. Because a lot of the times you get that that fatigue whenever you get on like the PlayStation Store, or like any of these like, and I know a lot of people, other people struggle with this too. It's like anytime you get onto like one of these giant things where you have a massive catalog, where you're scrolling on Netflix, or you're scrolling on Xbox Game Pass, or you're scrolling on the PlayStation premium catalogs, I get so like overwhelmed with that. I forgot what it's called. Somebody can let me know in the comments below. But like that. That overwhelmed feeling whenever there's too many options and you're sitting there just staring at the screen, and then so I find myself just scrolling, and then by the time I'm like done, you know, I'm scrolling for like 10 minutes, I'm like, I don't feel like playing anything right now. That's been a huge struggle for me, especially because I don't want to download them to the console, and then I have to, when you click download, you have to wait for them, then you're still looking for more stuff, and it kind of just defeats that purpose of wanting to pick up in game. Well, the cloud on the PlayStation Portal has helped alleviate that so much, because there's so many of these games where I'm like, this one looks interesting, or this one looks weird, or like, oh yeah, Ragnarok, I hadn't picked that up in a while. Let me pick that up, and I'm back in there, and I'm fighting as Kratos with Boy, and it's so much fun that I'm genuinely surprised, and was a little bit worried about buyer's remorse setting in for people with a PlayStation Portal, because it's such a divisive device that you're either absolutely love it or you absolutely hate the PlayStation Portal, and there's kind of like no in between I found for people. But I and a couple of my friends wound up on the campsite of like, we loved it, I thought it was great, and I was really enjoying it, but then I kind of was like, the connection dropped a lot of the time, and it wasn't, you know, the most stable, but, you know, but along came, you know, update 4.0.1, and it felt way different. You know, it's way more robust. They increased the bit rate at some point during that update they pushed, and so now even playing like, you know, games like Monster Hunter World with friends and things like that, like it's so much more stable. This thing is like starting to feel almost like its own console in its own way. So that's something to kind of keep in mind, I think, with it. But I don't want to ramble too long. I don't even know how long this recording has been, but I think that if you're on the fence about getting the PlayStation Portal, and you're wanting to get it and you don't have a PlayStation, and you're looking to get it for just the cloud streaming aspects of it, you're not going to go wrong, and I don't think you're going to regret it, especially for the price point. The price point, $200, and I'm still using the cloud streaming. You know, so it's like $200 for the console. You can get it, you know, used, and you can get it for a relatively cheap price anywhere now at this point. They even got the new ones coming out, like they're up on screen here, hopefully. The midnight edition here too, that's coming out, so stay tuned and subscribe to the channel if you want to see. I'm gonna grab that and do an unboxing, and then kind of give you my thoughts on that and compare the two when it comes out on the 20th of February. So you know, you think in terms of that, if you don't have a PlayStation 5 and you're just wanting to get it for this, they're adding more games to the cloud, which is great. They will take games off of the cloud, which is not great, but for the most part, they stay on there for a long time, so you're gonna be able to get through them pretty well. If you're like, you know, avidly gaming. The subscription, I did the annual one, and it's like, I think it's like $120 for the year. It sounds like a lot, and it's a huge pill to swallow, but like if you've been waiting on the fence for getting some of these PlayStation games, or if you know, just play through 2 games, like, and you've already, you have 2 games in the year. If you're minimum playing through 2 games in the year, the subscription pays for itself basically. And with the more they add to it, the more hours you're sinking in. I always look at it as like, how many hours can I spend playing on this thing? Is it going to be worth my time? And if I'm putting in 40 hours in a game, how much is that, per hour dollar wise? If I was to think about like, your hourly rate, right? Like, oh, okay, I've gotten my money's worth if I get a few hours out of a game on this, right? So, yeah, try it out. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Like, there's alternatives like, the PlayStation Remote Play app you could use on phones. You could use it on, you could use it with things like Chiaki on the Steam Deck, which I think are great. Those guys are always improving the app too. It's really fantastic. The screen looks really great there. The HDR is awesome. But there's something to be said about the ease of use with being able to just pick this up, turn it on, and it works. You can't beat that. Are there days where Sony's PlayStation Network goes down? Yeah, that seems to happen, and it seems to happen more and more. They're getting hit with attacks. Like I feel like every year I hear about one that's pretty bad or something, and they're shut down for a day or two. But you could always just go do something else in the meantime. There's other devices, and there's books if you want to do that. Just take a day off or two. But I don't think you're gonna regret this. I don't think you'll regret the Portal. I think that you'll have a really good time with this device, and yeah, that's pretty much all I have to say besides just rambling on here. I think we're at like 11-12 minutes, so thank you guys so much. I really appreciate everybody that is subscribed to the channel. It's really crazy. We blew up to a big number out of nowhere, and now it's kind of like tapering off. So I think we're just trying to find our feet on this channel and what this channel is going to be about. And it's kind of just going to be me giving my thoughts on things as a consumer and as a a console gamer that's becoming a PC gamer over the last couple of years, and maybe some teardowns of devices and some customization, things like that, and kind of just general game related stuff and gamer news. So thank you guys again, and feel free to subscribe to the channel, and let me know in the comments below what things you'd like to see more of, less of, and if you want to see more box openings and things like that, we can make that work too. So, all right, thanks guys. Bye.